Hello everybody, how's it going? So in today's video, I'm going to be going over all your different variation of shoulder press, and I'm going to explain to you which ones are best suited to you and your goals. We've obviously got different versions of the shoulder press that all serve different purposes, and I'm going to explain which one is going to suit you the best, depending on what you're trying to achieve, and then also where they kind of fit in your program. So I'm going to run through what I consider the main ones and what they are most commonly used for. Before we start and get into it, I will say that not any one exercise is just going to exclusively develop one thing. So an exercise that's best suited to making you stronger is going to help you add muscle and vice versa. But as I said, for this video, we're just going to stick to the main purposes. So the first exercise is the push press. So this is basically our standard military press, but we're using our legs to help drive the bar up. So we want to make sure that we're bending to no more than a quarter squat, and then using that momentum to help drive the bar up. So this is obviously a variation of a standing shoulder press, but doing it like this is more suited to making you more dynamic. So maybe you do a sport where you need to have a lot of upper body power, or Olympic lifting or something like that. It's also a great max strength exercise because this is going to be the shoulder press variation you can use the most weight with, and obviously to get stronger, we always want to add more weight. And that's obviously going to overload the muscle. So the next exercise we're going on to is the standing military press. So this is just like our standing, this is just like our standing strict press. So we're just here and pushing the bar straight up. Now for pure brute strength, this is your go-to. You're not using any of your legs here, and that's just throwing all the load onto your shoulders. And the reason it is such a great exercise for making you stronger is because when you're in this position here, you've got nothing supporting you, you've got no bench to lean against, you've got nothing to help you cheat. It's just pure power that you need to drive the bar up. You also have the added element of stability or instability to it, and that's why it is such a great exercise for just making you stronger, because when you're in this position here, you've got nothing to support you, no bench to lean against, nothing to purchase against. You've got to just use pure brute strength to drive the bar up from here, and you've also got to keep your core nice and solid as well, so that you're not falling and leaning and going all over the place. You keep this trunk nice and tight, and that's going to allow you to push the bar up, keeping everything nice and straight, not let any power leak out the power line. But because of that lack of stability, it's a great exercise for making you stronger, but it's maybe not the most conducive exercise to hypertrophy, because you are going to be limited in your force production, which is basically how hard you can actually push through the muscle, because you are unstable. So you may want to opt for something that you aren't quite as restricted in that force production. And that's going to move us on to a seated barbell military press. Now, this is the most versatile of all our shoulder exercises. Our first two exercises that we've done are military press and push press. They're very much primary exercises that are going to be done at the start of the session and will be the focal point of that workout. Seated military press can be used for almost anything. You can use it as a primary exercise, a secondary exercise. It's a great exercise you can use to help you get stronger or build muscle. It's a great exercise to develop your strength because you can use a lot of weight. It's a great exercise to help you build muscle, as I said as well, because you've got this bench behind you to support you, so you're not going to have that added element of stability, and you can just keep the load and tension and everything through your shoulders through the entire movement. Now notice how I've got the bench up at my back here, and I would always do it like this, because if you have the bench flat at your back, you're now going to be unstable, and again, it's making it a bit like that kind of standing military press. And if you do want that instability, then just go and do it standing. Next on our list is our dumbbell shoulder press, seated of course. In my strength programs, I do normally have these as like an accessory exercises to your main lifts. However, they can be like a primary exercise for you building muscle, and I think that is probably what they're best used for. Because you're using the dumbbells and not a barbell, you have a lot more kind of freedom through the movement, so you can really find that sweet spot for you where you can really feel your shoulders the most engaged. And you also do have to be focused on your stability on these, but in a different way from your standing exercises. The stability in terms of where you're pushing your arms, and you need to make sure that you're pushing nice and straight and not flying all over the place. You can do dumbbell shoulder press standing, but I don't really see the merit in that. I think there's just far too much going on in terms of the stability, and I'll keep using that word. So I think if you do want to do a standing shoulder press, stick to using a barbell, and if you do want to do dumbbells for a shoulder press, stick to doing them seated. And as a bonus exercise, if you have a weak side on one side, you can just do single side shoulder press, and you can throw these in maybe at the end of the session after you've done all your work in sets, so that it's not impacting you when you're fresh doing all your main stuff. So I would throw a few sets of these in at the end if you do have a weak side, and then after a while you should see a difference off that weak side catching up to your strong side. And lastly, I've not got any in here to show you any examples of, but you do obviously have shoulder press machines that you can use. They're not going to do much in terms of helping you get stronger, but they can be used to help build muscle fairly effectively. But I would never prioritise your machine work over your free weight work. There is some machines that you'll feel are good, there is some machines that you'll feel are pretty bad. There'll be some machines that restrict you, some machines you can move freely, so it's just all about finding what one works best for you, and then on top of that, just making sure it's in the right place in your program. And I would always say it would be kind of towards the end of your sessions as like a secondary or assistance exercise. And there we have it, that is the list. Hopefully you've learned something and you can take it with you through to your own training. If you need help with finding and placing the shoulder exercises in your program, or any other exercise or any other body part, please feel free to get in touch. My coaching inquiry form is linked in the bio, as is all my social media information. I'm about 7 videos in it, and I keep calling it the bio, and it's the description, not the bio. Like and subscribe, all that stuff, it greatly helps me out, and it's free, doesn't cost you any time or money, and it'd be muchly appreciated. And then other than that, I will see you in the next video.